What's happening, y'all? What's up, YouTube? This is Mansa Musa, the Pharaoh. I'm just in the crib. I just finished doing some spiritual prayers, Kemetic spiritual prayers, because today is Spiritual Holy Day. The fifth day of every 10 days is that day. So right now, I want to take the time to speak about uh, something that I feel is very important. Another foundational issue to anything moving forward. No matter if you're a spiritual person, no matter if you just want to make money and own black business and not need to work for the white man. An issue that keeps us kind of cycling, and not just directly and literally, but also mentally and spiritually, is school. The thing about school, now I want to make sure that I want to also say I'm not. This is a little disclaimer. I'm not telling nobody. I want you to not go to school. I'm not telling anybody that I want you to drop out or whatever. I'm gonna leave that to your own imagination to do. Leave that to your own discretion. I'm mainly just speaking things, facts from my perspective, and you can rationalize that with your mind as far as you how you do that. But personally, this is what makes sense to me. This is what I feel. I'm not somebody that's in school. I'm not in college. I graduated from high school. I got GED, and I was good with that. Uh, I'm just somebody that's very aware. But like I said, take this how you take it. I'm not speaking it to you as like, oh, this is the facts. I'm just simply breaking it down of facts from my perspective of what makes sense and what's logical. And I'm gonna just get straight into it. So school, they teach you what they want you to know. They teach you what is gonna benefit you being a number to their society. They're not gonna teach you how to be rich. And someone may say, like, well, why would I teach somebody just how to be rich? Not everybody becomes rich. Well, the reality is that they want you also to think that you need to be rich in order to be enriched. They want you to, serve the game, even if you're somebody that's a boss still. They want you to become a boss, and they will either want you to be a slave, and so they school you to be a slave, or they want you to think that you're a boss, and you become like a slave master, but in reality, you're still a slave to them and the whole idea. And the idea is colonialism. The idea is that if you look up in colonialism, I can't say the definition off the top of my head, but basically it deals with the concept of the idea of constant conquering. If you look up the definition, this is the how am I'm gonna say this is the narrative that I always use when I'm defining something extremely corrupt. The narrative of colonialism in general. Instead of saying white man or white people, I'd rather just go into what makes the white man and his, or what makes it the white people's ancestors evil. And that's the concept and the mental concept of colonialism that we all are infected by. Like if you watch the Black Panther movie, that's what they say. They, instead of saying the white man, instead of saying something like cracker, they say the colonizer. Okay? All right. History. His HIS story is like their perspective of history. You don't learn any actual accurate history in school, and there's many reasons for that. And you can say whatever you want to say, it can lead whatever to you want to lead to from any perspective, but it always goes back to one thing, and that's because if they taught you anything real, it would get in the way of you actually becoming a good asset to society. You get what I'm saying? So if you was to learn anything that's really going to benefit you, you either would like become very successful from it, or you either would not become part of the whole idea in the system. Uh, in school, they don't even teach you the basics, so they don't care about you. Like I said, like they don't care about us, especially as black people. They teach you things that helps you deal with your humanity, right? They don't teach you anything that helps you deal with the humanity. They only teach you things that help you preserve the art. Might have got something against the art that America presents. What I mean by that is, in my opinion, I believe America is just one big marketplace of different cultures. Well, that's the best idea of America. I believe it's extremely corrupt right now, but that was the idea, and people decided to live in, and of course, our ancestors created it, and they invaded countries for the sake of resources, so they could keep this idea going up. If you actually watch Samurai Jack and you watch the second part when they came back out, Aku, when he ruled the earth, Basically, that's what he did. He basically made things like it was like kind of like a dystopian future, except it was just a mesh of many cultures. And that's an example of America. Now, if that was peacefully done and respectfully done, culture to culture, and people knew their culture, I wouldn't really be against that. But that's not America, the state of America, at least right now, if it ever really truly was. So when you learn in school, it's just to help you become an asset in society. It leads you to help you become an asset into society, whether you finish school or not, to help that keep going, pretty much. So my opinion, my conclusion is that my conclusion is that basically we need to fix school and change school so that people can learn the basics of humanity, learn the basics how to deal with their humanity, like teach you about human emotions and stuff like that. Like each school need to teach that. Teach you how to wash your ass. Some people don't even wash their ass. Some people don't even use the bathroom and wash their butt. You know what I mean? Like some people just wipe it down with tissue and wait till it's dry and think their butt is clean. That is barbaric. That is extremely barbaric. Okay, nothing about that is healthy. And this is the type of tough stuff that's in schools. And in schools is dirty, but more importantly, everybody can relate to what I'm saying at their own degree. We all know they don't teach you finances in school. We all know that they don't teach you any mental health, and that's because they don't have the answers for it. Because America is not a spiritual place. It doesn't care about spirituality. It doesn't care about traditional spirituality. So they're not going to deal with any of that either. So the only solution, like I said, is to kind of like break down school so that it's not based off the concept of like funding debt and funding the creation of slaves. What I mean by funding debt, if you go to college, you got to really go hard if you want to make it, and it's almost kind of like needle in a haystack, all for something that's really just a dream in the first place, just an American dream. It's just nothing about America is really realistically beneficial. It's just for the sake of experience and enjoyment. So you sitting here stressing yourself out, following your parents' wishes to do things that's just not going to really benefit you once your life is over anyway. Think about that. Ta-da. All right. So the idea is that you have to change the school system, bro. That's the only way. They got to speak facts. We got to make sure that, it's just a lot I could say, and I don't want this video to be long. But as we can see that, there's not anything really taught to you in school that can really benefit you in this society, even on a basic level. It's almost like they not only want you to just be a slave, they want you to suffer as well. And those are the things we need to remove from the American school system. I'm out. Hatap. Peace.